Well, hello kids, and welcome once again to the Masked Fan Attic, high above the beautiful Horror Hotel in the heart of glamorous metropolitan Chatfield, Ohio, where each week we get together to look for interesting latex Halloween masks. I happen to see one right now. What an amazing coincidence. This, folks, is called Erik. This is called Erik, E-R-I-K. And, well, I don't know if you've noticed this, but it's sort of a recurring theme. It's a pattern that keeps recurring in the mask and horror world. That guys named Erik, little strange. A lot of problems with guys named Erik. Watch out for those guys. This guy here, no exception. Now, the Dawn Post Erik was first made in vinyl. It came out in the mid to late 1970s. I'm going to guess 76. I think that's the first year it was available. But the reason a lot of people are looking for it today and want one today is because the Dawn Post Erik was used in the movie Halloween 4, which came out in 1988 in the scene in the drugstore. It's called Vincent's Drugstore, and when they go there to buy costumes at the beginning of the film, or fairly early in the film, you see a bunch of different masks on the shelves. One of them is Erik. Now, people have tried to recreate that scene. A lot of fans and collectors thought it would be cool to own all of the masks seen on the shelf in the display at the Vincent's Drugstore scene in Halloween 4 from 1988. You still with me? Try to stay awake a couple of minutes longer, because I'm about to tell you this is not a Dawn Post original. No, not an actual Dawn Post Erik, but an incredible facsimile, an amazing reproduction done by Kevin Ardron of the UK. And this thing is so close to the original. Here's what's amazing about it. He sculpted this, and I don't know Kevin really. I just know a little of his work. But this fellow sculpted this beast with no other reference than being able to freeze frame the movie and look at the scenes in the movie. And to have come this close, because I used to own one of the Dawn Post originals for years and years. And in case you're wondering why don't I still own it, I'll just come right out and get that out of the way. It's one of many old cool masks that I ended up parting with in times of poverty. Due to poverty-related causes, I sold mine, I think. But anyway, it was first available in vinyl and then in glow-in-the-dark, which instead of having this paint scheme with the flesh and the white hair and the red and pink over here, the whole thing was black with glow-in-the-dark, sponge painted or stipple painted over it. And neither one of those was still available by 1988 when Halloween 4 came out. So really, it was highly unlikely that a small town drugstore in a place like Illinois in America would have had a Dawn Post Erik at that time, but it looked cool in the movie. They probably ran uptown to Hollywood Toys and bought a bunch of masks that they thought would look cool on the shelves for the movie set. But anyway, this is not an original Erik, but this is, like I said, an incredible reproduction, very cool, by Kevin Ardron. And well, that's your recommendation for the week. Oh, and just for anybody who didn't catch it, this guy originally, the fact that he's named Erik and he's all scarred up and mangled, he was loosely based on the Phantom of the Opera character, not the original old school Phantom, which was kind of the living skull look that Lon Chaney made famous, but rather the latter day Phantom of the Opera look, where instead of just being an ugly, creepy, monstrous guy, he's started out as a normal guy and then had acid thrown in his face and was scarred up by that. So this was kind of a generic Phantom of the Opera character with half his face off. And you know, after all these years, it didn't occur to me until right now, if you're a Monty Python fan, you could call this Erik the Half a Face. I'm sure somebody out there gets it. Okay, maybe nobody does. Somebody does, sure. But very cool mask and very impressively recreated. Because I've been involved with a lot of these recreation projects, and this is awfully close, especially considering he didn't have a lot of reference stills to work with. So big thumbs up and congratulations on a job well done. to Mr. Ardron of the UK, and a hearty recommendation for all those of you who want to recreate the Vincent's Drugstore scene from Halloween 4. See you again next time.